The galaxy was vast, filled with countless planets, species, and civilizations. Yet, even in such an infinite expanse, some moments had the power to alter the course of lives forever. Mine began on the storm-racked planet of Viridian Prime. I never expected to find myself standing in the throne room of a galactic queen, facing a choice that could reshape not only my destiny but that of an entire royal lineage. My name is Jalen Arik, a human explorer and occasional mediator for interstellar disputes. I had been traveling through the outer colonies, resolving conflicts, and delivering supplies. But nothing had prepared me for the mission that would change everything. The Queen's Dilemma. When I first arrived at the palace, I was met with an unusual scene: the alien queen, sovereign of the Lytherian Empire, pacing with visible distress. Her advisors and generals were present, but she ignored them entirely. The situation was clear to all: her daughter, Princess Amora, was of marrying age, and no suitable suitor had yet been deemed worthy. Whispers filled the room. Lytherian nobility murmured about failed negotiations, rejected suitors, and the growing pressure of maintaining alliances. Yet the Queen's voice, when she finally spoke, silenced the entire chamber. "If no one will take my daughter," she said, her tone both commanding and trembling, "then I will choose the human." The room gasped. I, a human who had never held such a position of influence, froze. My mind raced. Why me? What had I done to earn such a heavy responsibility? The Queen's golden eyes bore into mine, scanning every reaction, every flicker of hesitation. "You have integrity, courage, and honor," she continued. "These are traits lacking in those who have refused my daughter. You will be her protector, her guide, and perhaps something more." Meeting the princess. I had been warned that Princess Amora was formidable. And yet, nothing prepared me for the sight of her. She stood taller than most humans, with an aura of confidence and authority that made the throne room seem smaller. Her hair shimmered like starlight, and her violet eyes seemed to look straight into my soul. "Human," she said, her voice steady and commanding. "You are the one my mother has chosen. The one who must prove themselves worthy of my trust." I nodded, trying to hide my unease. I will do everything in my power to ensure your safety and well-being, Princess." Amora's lips curved slightly, a subtle mixture of amusement and challenge. "Power is not enough. Wisdom, patience, and understanding are far more valuable." Over the next days, I observed her closely. She was unlike any being I had ever encountered. Her strength, both mental and physical, was extraordinary. She could command respect without raising her voice, and her strategic mind was unparalleled. Yet there was also vulnerability beneath her regal exterior, a longing for genuine connection, someone who could see past the crown and the titles. The test of trust. The Queen, my unlikely patron, arranged a series of trials. These were designed not only to test my courage and intelligence but also my understanding of Lytherian culture and traditions. The first trial took place in the Hall of Trials, where I faced simulations of battles, negotiations, and even moral dilemmas. Princess Amora observed quietly from a balcony above, her gaze sharp and evaluative. I could feel her judgment, and it unnerved me more than any physical challenge. The final test was the most unexpected, a negotiation with rival factions seeking to exploit the princess's status. Failure would not only reflect poorly on me but endanger her life. With careful diplomacy, empathy, and strategy, I successfully navigated the negotiation, earning the respect of those who had doubted a human could rise to such a challenge. When I returned to the palace, exhausted and unsure of the outcome, the Queen stood before me. Her expression softened, and for the first time, she allowed herself to smile. "You have proven more than your skills," she said. "You have shown heart, judgment, and loyalty. That is why I have chosen you." An unexpected bond. The Queen's declaration created a ripple throughout the palace. The nobles whispered, the advisors conferred in secret, yet Princess Amora remained calm. She approached me, her violet eyes thoughtful. "Human," she said, "my mother has chosen you. But you must understand, the role you assume is not simple. It is a union of trust, respect, and understanding." I bowed respectfully. "I understand, Princess. And I am willing to earn that trust, every day." Over time, Amora and I spent hours together studying Lytherian culture, exploring star maps, and discussing philosophy, strategy, and even the meaning of leadership. The connection that formed between us was subtle at first, built on mutual respect and the shared burden of responsibility. Yet it deepened with every challenge, every conversation, and every moment of vulnerability. Facing the outer threat. Our partnership was soon tested. A rebel faction had grown restless, seeking to undermine the Lytherian Empire. Their attacks were strategic and coordinated, threatening not only Princess Amora but the entire royal family. I stood at her side as the Queen and Princess strategized. The situation demanded both human ingenuity and Lytherian power. With Amora's tactical brilliance and my knowledge of human diplomacy and guerrilla strategy, we coordinated defenses, anticipated enemy movements, and ultimately led a successful counteroffensive. During the battle, Princess Amora was injured, taking a shallow but dangerous strike to her shoulder. Instinctively, I rushed to her side. "Hold still," I instructed, carefully assessing the wound. Her eyes met mine, golden flecks reflecting the sunlight. "Be gentle, human," she whispered, a command wrapped in trust and a subtle hint of vulnerability. I treated her wound with precision and care, realizing in that moment the depth of responsibility I had assumed, not only as her protector but as someone she was beginning to trust with her life and heart. The Queen's final decision. After the battle, the palace was quiet. The Queen called me to her private chamber, her expression serene yet intense. "You have faced tests that no other human could endure," she said. "You have shown bravery, loyalty, and wisdom. That is why I chose you." I bowed deeply. "I am honored, Your Majesty. But I could not have done this alone." Her gaze softened. "You have earned more than respect. You have earned the trust of my daughter. And perhaps, something more." I felt the weight of her words, realizing that the choice extended beyond duty and into something profoundly personal. A new beginning. In the days that followed, Princess Amora and I continued to grow closer. Our bond was no longer defined by royal decree alone but by shared experiences, trust, and the understanding of one another's strengths and vulnerabilities. The Queen watched us with quiet satisfaction, knowing that her choice had ensured not only the safety and continuity of her lineage but also the growth of an extraordinary partnership, one that bridged species, cultures, and worlds. "I never expected to find a human capable of this," Princess Amora admitted one evening, her hand brushing mine as we studied the stars. "And I never expected to be chosen," I replied softly. Her violet eyes sparkled. "Then perhaps the galaxy has a way of surprising us all." And in that moment, I realized that sometimes, destiny is not something you choose for yourself, but something chosen for you, by those who see your worth even when the world doubts it. The Queen had chosen wisely, and as I stood beside Princess Amora, I understood that this partnership, forged in trust, courage, and respect, was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey across the stars.